Hi, I am Dr. K. Sai Prasad Reddy. Welcome to the subject software testing. And today we are going to discuss about interview questions, screening test questions, frequently asked questions, multiple choice questions or ISTQB model questions in the topics of review, walkthrough, inspections. See, if you attend the interview, you will get at least 3 to 4 questions in interview regarding with this topic. Review, walkthrough, inspection. Some companies, they will conduct a screening test before taking face-to-face interview. In this screening test, from these topics, you will get at least 5 questions. So you can guess the importance of this topic: review, walkthrough, inspection. So I have divided into parts of these screening test questions. Right? We will take part by part. Right. Now, see, please try to understand carefully. If you get command on these questions, obviously you can easily clear that screening test. Even you can improve the subject knowledge. You can get command on the subject, and it will become very easy for you to face the interview. Right. The first, one of the roles in a review is that of moderator. Which of the following best describes this role? Option A, B, C, D are there. Just look these options carefully. Plans the review, runs the review meeting, and ensures that follow-up activities are completed. Allocates time in the plan, decides which reviews will take place, and that the benefits are delivered. Writes the document to be reviewed, agree that the document can be reviewed, and updates that document with any changes. Documents all issues raised in the review meeting, records the problems and open points. These are the options. So you have to choose the correct option regarding the moderator. See now, if you take the option D, documents are all issues raised in the review meeting, records the problems and open points. This is the responsibility of a scribe. If you take option C, writes the document to be reviewed, agreed that the document can be reviewed, and updates the document with any changes. So that is the responsibility of author. Allocates the time in the plan, decides which reviews will take place, and that the benefits are delivered. Allocates the time in the project plan, decides which reviews. So this is the responsibility of manager. And obviously, option A is the correct option with respect to the moderator responsibility. Plans the review, runs the review meeting, and ensures that follow-up activities are completed. Option A is the correct one. Rest of all options are wrong. Next. Which are the following statements are correct for walkthroughs? See, here they have given the option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these options with the combinations of ABCD options regarding the walkthroughs. See, let's see these options. Often led by the author, documented and defined result, all participants have defined role, used to aid learning, main purpose to find defects. If you quick recap about the walkthroughs will be always informal. There will be no planning. It is an unofficial. There will be no fixed roles for this walkthrough activity. And mainly the walkthroughs will be conducted by the software developers on the code predominantly. And the walkthroughs are done to aid learning, to learn about that document. This is about walkthrough. Now look into these options. Option A, 1 and 5 are correct. That is often led by the author. And the fifth one is the main purpose of to find the defects. B, 2, 3. C, 1 and 4. D, 3 and 4. So choose guess the correct option. right? Yeah, see. So 1, often led by the author, and also 4, used to aid learning. This is about walkthrough. But see, predominantly walkthrough is conducted to aid learning, not to find the defects. That is secondary, right? Yeah. Next, which of the following most likely to be a benefit of using static techniques? Fewer performance defects, productivity improvements in the development process, more efficient regression testing, quick returns on investment in static analysis tools. Which is the correct option? That means benefit of static testing. There is nothing but a benefit of static testing. So guess the option, correct option. Productivity improvements in the development process. How it is possible? Because during this static testing, for example, if you take the review, during the review process, you will find the defects in the document. You will find the defects in the code. If the defects are found in the document in the early stage of the project, those defects will be resolved. Those defects will be removed from the document, which will make the development process easily, and it will find the defects. It will find the mistakes in the code during the code reviews. Obviously, which will improve this productivity improvements in the development process. What do you mean by the productivity improvements? To get the outputs with respect to the work product, right? So obviously the rest of the things are false. So you have to think once and twice to choose the correct option. Next, which of the following has the typical formal review activities in the correct sequence? Correct sequence, actually he is asking correct sequence. See, there is kickoff, review meeting, planning, follow-up, kickoff, planning, review meeting, rework, and planning, individual preparation, follow-up, rework, and planning, kickoff, individual preparation, and review meeting. Option C is the correct one. This is a sequence. First planning, and then go for kickoff, and then go for individual preparation for the review. After successful completion of a review, then they will go for review meeting. This is the last review meeting is the last stage, right? After review meeting, follow-up will be there. Rework and follow-up will be there, right? This is the correct option, correct sequence with respect to this given options A, B, C, D. Yeah. Now, which of the following statements are true? Just read these statements carefully. Defects are likely to be found earlier in the development by using review rather than the static analysis. Walkthroughs require code, but static analysis doesn't require code. Informal reviews can be performed on code and specifications. Dynamic techniques are generally used before static techniques. Dynamic techniques can only be used after code is ready to be executed. Yeah, which of the following statements are true? Here there are combinations of these statements with options A, B, C, D. We have to choose the correct option. See, defects are likely to be found earlier in the development by using the review rather than the static analysis. Yes. Walkthroughs require code, but static analysis doesn't require code. It's wrong because we know the walkthroughs will be conducted predominantly on the code by the software development team. So, but static analysis doesn't require code means no. Static analysis also requires code. So, second statement is wrong. Formal reviews can be performed on code and specifications. Informal reviews can be performed on the code and specifications, obviously. Dynamic techniques are generally used before static techniques. No, for any project, first static techniques will be implemented, static techniques will be used. After successful completion of static techniques, only dynamic techniques will be implemented. So option 4 is wrong. 5. Dynamic techniques can only be used after code is ready to be executed. Yes. Once the code is ready to execute, that means when the code will get ready to execute after successful completion of static techniques on the code, then only the dynamic techniques will take into picture, right? So option D is the correct one with the statements of 1, 3, 5 combination. So rest of these are false. Next, which of the following are static techniques? What are the static techniques? Review, walkthroughs and inspections. Here walkthrough, state transition testing, decision table testing and statement testing. These are all the testing actually we will discuss later. So correct option is walkthrough. Regarding state transition testing, decision table testing, statement testing, I will take a separate session for these topics, and the cyclomatic complexity is also there. Definitely we will take one session, separate session. Yeah. Which one of the following roles is typically used in review? What are the different roles in the review? Manager, moderator, yes, author, reviewer, scribe. Here see options ABCD, champion, author, project sponsor, custodian. So obviously option B is the correct one. Rest of are all wrong. Which of the following statement is correct? Pair programming is an alternative term for code inspection. Pair programming is used usually in the waterfall model. Pair programming is, among the other things, an informal review method. Pair programming is done with the developer and the tester pairing together. These are all the options that are given. Now see, first before going to these options, I will explain what do you mean with the pair programming. What do you mean with the pair programming? Pairing, pair means two. So here, pair programming is nothing but two software developers will work together for one task. So for example, for one requirement, on one requirement, these two software developers will work together at a time. One developer will start coding. The other developer will review that code. This is called pair programming. See, for example, if there is one requirement, for this requirement actually there are 200 lines of code. So one software developer, he will finish the coding for that particular requirement. After completion of coding, the second developer will start reviewing of the code or walkthroughs on the code or inspections of the code. This is called pair programming. Simple, right? Now see, which option is the correct option? See, the pair programming is totally informal because they themselves are sitting together and they are doing. There is no planned one. That is not an official activity. Pair programming. Right? Now see the options. So pair programming is an alternative term for code inspection. No, because pair programming is not an alternative for code inspection. And the pair programming is done with the developer and software test engineer. No. Two developers or two programmers will sit together and they will work, not with one programmer and one test engineer. And the pair programming is usually used in the waterfall model. No, the pair programming will be used in all the software development lifecycle models, not only in waterfall model. And option C, pair programming is, among other things, an informal review method. Yes, C is an informal review method. Option C is the correct option. So before choosing these options, you have to know what do you mean with the pair programming. You have to get clarity on the pair programming. Pair programming, it's important. It's important for the interview. Pair programming. What do you mean with pair programming? Two developers will work on the same task. For example, for one requirement, they have to do the coding. Now, in this two developers, one developer will start coding and he will complete the coding. After successful completion of coding for that requirement, the second developer will do the review process or walkthroughs or inspections on that particular code. This is called pair programming. It's totally informal activity. There is no plan. That is not an official activity. Which of the following sentences list the main advantages of reviews over testing? So that is what he is asking. Advantages of reviews over testing. That's all. Yeah. Options. These are all the options. A, B, C, D. Just to go through these options clearly. It is very clear. So option B is the correct one. Rest of all options are wrong. See, low cost of defect detection, enhancement of code and documents quality, identification of improvement opportunities. Yes, low cost of defect detection, but means, so the team is finding the defects at the early stage of the project, in the requirements stage itself. Low cost. Enhancement of code and documents. Obviously, the code reviews and the document reviews will improve, will enhance the quality of that particular code or the document, because they are identifying the defects and they are identifying the mistakes in the code and they are removing those defects or they are removing the mistakes in the code. Obviously, it will improve, it will enhance the quality of the code as well as documents. Identification of improvement opportunities, obviously, because during this review process or during this walkthrough or during these inspections, you will get more ideas to improvise the document or the code, right? Yeah, the rest of all wrong, obviously, just you can see. Yeah, which defects are often much cheaper to remove? This is very, very, very important. Whether for the competitive exams or screening test or frequent asked questions or multiple choice questions or ISTQB, even for the interview questions, right? It's very important. Which defects are often much cheaper to remove? See, if you recap that software development life cycle, if you take any model, either it may be a waterfall model or V model or Agile model or prototype model or RAD model or Root model or Spiral model, so irrespective of the model, here this software development life cycle model is not the criteria, is not the matter, irrespective of the SDLC model. Which defects are often much cheaper to remove? If you recall any software development lifecycle model and see, these are all the options. Usability defects are found by customers, defects in frequently used functionality, defects that were detected early, and minor defects that were found by users. See, which defects are often much cheaper to remove? Here, how you will calculate the cheaper to remove concept while removing the defects? Majorly two things. One is number of resources, either they may be developers or software test engineers, and the second one is how much time they are spending to remove the defects. These two are the criteria to measure whether it is expensive or cheaper to remove the defects in the software development lifecycle stages. See, what are the things? Usability defects are found by customers. This is very expensive because found by the customers means in the last stage of this software development lifecycle. That means if you are finding the defects and if you are trying to remove the defects in the last stage of the software development lifecycle rather than the early stage of the software development lifecycle, obviously it will be very, 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 very expensive. But he is asking cheaper. Yeah, defects in frequently used functionality? No. Defects, minor defects that were found by users, this option is given to confuse the students, because minor defects, once you see the word minor defects, obviously everybody will think that is cheaper to remove. No, either it may be a major defect or the minor defect, that is nothing. So defects that are detected early, that is the defects which are detected at the early stage of the project. What is the early stage of the project? Requirements gathering. So the defects which are found in the requirements gathering stage is cheaper to remove. Right? It's a very important topic and very important concept. It is important, very, very important for interview as well as for all the competitive exams and screening test. Yeah. Please subscribe my channel. Share my videos to all the students group and the students community. Those who are trying and those who are searching a job in the IT industry. And please like my sessions. Thank you very much. Please provide your feedback in the comments. Thank you.